I'll set my timer for 25 minutes, and when those 25 minutes are up, in the padding, we just forward. So let's do it like this. If it's a mouse motion event, we should not do a return here. I think we're soon done. Oh, search note object has no attribute. Hi, and welcome to another hacking session on SmartNotes. In the previous session, we tried to implement the selection border drawing in the base widget. However, the change turned out to be quite complicated to do in one go. We got one interesting behavior after the next. So I decided that we will start over. We will revert all the changes and try to do this change in a more controlled way. So last session turned into too many errors. Let's revert and start over. And also, for this video and upcoming videos, I will try to record them as a Pomodoro session. So I will start a timer for 25 minutes, and whatever gets done in those 25 minutes will end up being in the video. So that effectively time boxes each video to around like 30 minutes. So I will try that format and see how it works out. Please let me know what you think of it. Okay, so the goal for this Pomodoro session, or the final goal at least, is to make the selection border drawing a generic implementation in the base widget. However, as we saw last time, it was a bit too much to do in one go, and I gathered some prerequisites that needs to be done, or that will at least ease the change to make this selection border drawing generic. So we'll start to work on these more simple tasks and see how far we'll come. So I will set my timer for 25 minutes, and when those 25 minutes are up, we'll wrap up the session and see how we move forward. Okay, so my timer is set, and I think I would like to start with this item right here. Review all process event, update and draw to make sure that they call the base properly. So when we start to move functionality to this base widget, we also have to make sure that all the widgets that override these methods also call the base widget. So I will just go through all of the overridden versions and make sure that they call the base. So I'll open up the resulting Py file here, and let's go to the top, and I'll start with the process event. Okay, so let's see. The first hit is in the base widget itself. In the padding, we just forward. Okay, so in the padding class, we also need to call. I'm not sure if we want to call the base widget in this case. So if we have a look at padding, basically, let's see if I remember widget. So it takes a widget and adds some padding around it. So basically, the process event, an update and draw should just be forwarded to the widget. And I don't know. Yeah. Should the base class be called in this case? I mean, if the padding widget has focus, it must also call the base class to provide the event processing. So yeah, so we had an instance before. Where was it? Was it a network? Yeah, here in process event, where we called process event on all children, and before that we called the widget process event. And the padding is kind of similar, but it only has one child. So let's do the same pattern here. So process event widget, process event self event. So first call the base and then call the child. Yeah. Okay, so process event on padding done. Let's move on to the next one. This is box, and box looks very similar to the network. We have the just forwards the events, the process event call to all the children, and before that, we should do this. Let me copy this one so I don't have to type it all the time. So yeah, the box. Where is it? Box. Process event. Oops. Widget, process event, self event, and then forward it to all the children. Okay, so let me just check that this actually works, so that I didn't make any typo before I start copy pasting more of these lines. Yeah, okay, so it seems to work, and we can bring up the search bar, and yeah, I think padding is used somewhere here. So yeah, seems to work. Okay, so this was in the box. Is let's move on to the next one. Process event in the text field. Okay, so text field, process event. So if the text field has focus and there is some text event, then we handle that event and append the text that was entered. If it's the mouse up, we focus it. And we probably don't want to forward mouse up events to children. So let's do this. Else if it's none of these two cases above, we forward the event to the base widget. So for example, say you hit maybe Control W or something. I'm not sure if key down text will result in anything, but say it doesn't. And it's not a mouse event, so it will continue to the base process event, which will see that it's a key event, and it will be bubbled, and it can be handled at a higher level if you want to. So this is good. Next up we have this one, which is in the Smart Notes widget. Process event, and as we can see, this one calls the base process event in the else case here. Just want to double check text field. Yeah, widget is the base class of text field. Okay, so Smart Notes widget is okay. It calls the base there. Next up, we have the search field, and the search field calls the process event always. What is this process event when in focus? And process event when in focus. Yeah, okay. So this is basically the else case. If we have focus and we handle the event, then we return. Otherwise, we call the text fields the base class process event. Yeah, so that's correct. Then we have the search note, which doesn't seem to have the final else clause. So search results, search note, process event, else. And in this case, this is the base class. So if it's a mouse motion, yeah, so like, do we want to forward mouse motion events to children? Maybe. So in that case, we can just do, if it's a mouse motion event, we want to do something. And then we're going to check if it's left mouse down or left mouse up. Open settling source. Yeah, we don't want to forward these to the child, to any possible children. I mean, right now it probably doesn't have any children. Search note. Yeah, so this is maybe something we need to think about a bit more. I mean, what events do we want to keep sending to child widgets? So like when you press a key, you probably want to handle that key press only in one widget. And similarly for mouse click events. But for mouse motion events, maybe it makes more sense to forward a motion event to all the children. Say, for example, that the top level, the Smart Notes widget, receives a mouse event. And if it wants to act on that mouse event for some reason, we don't want to stop the propagation of that mouse event, because we still want, for example, say like the mouse is hovering over a note. In that case, we want to handle the mouse move event in the note as well, so we can make it selected. But we might also want to handle the mouse move event in a widget higher in the hierarchy. So yeah, and I have some vague memory that there's a distinction between like click and key events and mouse motion events in like GUI frameworks like WX widgets, and I think that makes sense here as well. So let's do it like this. If it's a mouse motion event, we do something, but we continue processing here, and the mouse motion event will be forwarded to children here as well. Okay, so that was the search note. Next we have a network widget. Let's see, network widget, yeah, it calls process event. And again, let me just check. Yeah, node base widget. Yeah. Next, we have in a network node. A network node also calls node base widget process event. And I bet we have something similar here. Yeah, if it's a mouse motion event, we do something. If it doesn't have focus, ooh, we should not do a return here. Then we should call, so we need to fix this. Interesting. So this was the network node. So yeah, process event. This makes sense if mouse motion, then do something and then continue processing. So I think I'll just add has focus to all the other cases here. If self.has focus and okay, what's going on? Computer froze for a bit. It's back now. So these are key events, key down, mouse down. Otherwise, yeah, this looks better. Process event. So this will make sure that unhandled key events are forwarded to children. Yeah, so we can remove this one. And now it's just handle mouse motion events. Continue processing the other events if, elif, else, and then base. Looks good to me. And this is a call. And now we're back. Okay, so I think we have reviewed all process event instances. So let's just quickly check if it seems to work. We can bring up the search bar, we can enter some text, and we can click the search to focus it. We can, yeah, nothing seems broken. Yeah, this one works as well. Okay. So that seems to work. So let's commit that, taking baby steps. And let's say make sure base process event is called okay, I still have like 10 minutes left on my timer, so I think we might also have time to do the update and the draw. Right now they don't do anything, so by adding a call to the base widget doesn't do anything. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, there was some problem with the rect. I think we had some parts that accessed it from the outside. So when we made the attribute private, we had to access the private attribute, and there were some issues with that. So yeah, that's another thing I want to work on before the selection border drawing can happen. So I don't know. Yeah, let's continue with this one and make calls to the base. So next up, open the wrong. So next up is update. Let's just see. Update pass. So this is the widget, this is the base. Okay. So next we have padding, and I think the thing that makes most sense in the update case is to first call the base update and then do whatever we want to do. Okay, so let's do that. Padding, update, and then widget.update, self-rect, elapsed milliseconds. Let's also copy that and make sure it works. So this was the padding, which is used here somewhere in the search bar. So yeah, that didn't crash, which is good. So let's continue. Yeah, this is the one we just added. So next up we have the note base widget. Widgets note base widget, update. Oops. Widget update self-rect elapsed. Yes. And next we have the box. Where is the box? Here it is. Update. Widget update base. And next is text field. Update. Widget update. And widget is the parent class, yes. Next we have, oh yeah, so here we already have this. Let's change the order so that we do the parent or the base class first, and then we do whatever we want to do. So this is in Smart Notes widget. Update, just do it like that to be consistent. And VBox is the base class of Smart Notes widget. Okay, let's move on to the next. We have the search bar. Yeah, we also call the base here. Oh, so this is interesting. Here we pass the ideal rect and elapsed. Okay, so we pass a different rect here. Did we do that in Smart Notes widget as well? No, we passed the same rect. Okay, so in this case we need to calculate the ideal rect before we can pass it on to the base, which makes sense. So I'll leave it like that. So the ideal rect here, this is the other thing I want to work on. What's the difference between the rect and the ideal rect, and yeah, to clarify that part. But let's not do that now. Let's do this one instead. So wanted height update. So we just pass the rect and elapsed and we don't change, so we can do that call first. This is in the search results. Okay, search results. Update hbox. We don't change rect and elapsed milliseconds, so that's okay. Next up we have this one, which already seems to be fixed. Yeah, this is also another problematic use of that we ran into. So the base widget sat direct, and then we changed direct here, and things got a bit confusing. So yeah, I want to clarify that in another session. Next we have the network widget. update. Let's see, do we call base update somewhere? I don't think we do. So let's do insert it here. Oops, maybe I did copy something else. Yeah, okay. So widget.update self-rect elapsed milliseconds. And is the widget? Yeah, the widget is the base class. Okay, let's copy that again. Widget update self-rect elapsed milliseconds. Yeah, so let's make sure that that works. I didn't make any typo again. So network widget should just show up. Yeah, so seems to work. That's the base call. And here we have another one which already calls the node base widget, which is good. This is, where is this? Network node. Okay. And then we have the link widget. Update. Widget update. There we go. And the table widget. Widget update. There we go. And debug bar. I think we're soon done. Update. Widget update. Yeah, and this saving of the rect is probably something that will move into the base update eventually, but we're taking baby steps now to not end up in a situation like we did in the last session. Okay, and this is the call from the main loop, and yeah, that's all update cases. So let's test it real quick. Oh, search note object has no attribute card full size. Okay, so search note. Okay, so there's my Pomodoro timer telling me that this session is about to end. So let's see if we can just quickly have a look at this one. Search note object has no attribute card full size. Self search note. Note base. Oh, so note base widget. Note base widget. Probably in its update method. Does it have an update method? Should have, yeah. So let's see, get target rect. So my suspicion is that get target rect relies on something set by node base widget update. So it can't be the case because it works here. All right, get target rect. What was the error? Card full size. Card full size. So card full size is set in node base widget update. Okay, I should have stuck to my Pomodoro timer. And I will end this session now, and probably in the next session we will try to after a break we'll have a look at this error again, because what we've done up until this point are really small changes, and I'm not sure how to make them smaller, so I don't think we should revert these changes. Instead we should figure out what's going on here, and I think we can do it. And it's always good to have a break, get up, do something else, and then the solution might come to you. So thank you for watching this session, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.